Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhoads on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show. Take it away, you two.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning from Frozen, Ohio.
From Frozen, Ohio, yes. Those of you who live up in the Northeast know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We flew in last night, didn't get to our hotel room until after midnight, and getting a good start to the day.
Yeah.
We have some client meetings for the next few days, and actually Friday we will be broadcasting with, we're talking about our visit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to invite the dealer if they're comfortable to join us on Friday. So stay tuned and see if they are comfortable and want to join the conversation on Friday. Otherwise, we'll just kind of recap, what the experience has been with them. But yeah, we've had snow in Utah, but this is was 3 degrees this morning, and we haven't seen that kind of cold in Utah.
So. I know it's always about the weather, but this is like the Weather Channel at the very beginning. You get to see what's happening with that. Also, V8 groups. If you are interested, let us know. Jim decided, because we've had a lot of interest from people that are new to the industry, to put together a group that is just for dealers that have 60 or less,
50
or less contracts.
Just newer dealers. The idea is to build it. We were going to try to avoid that just because we're trying not to do coaching necessarily with that. It's really more about getting dealers to talk to dealers. But obviously, when a dealer's brand new, they'd like to have some help from other dealers, but they don't have a lot to contribute.
So it's a group of just that, just young, or the youngies.
They're not all young, but they're new to the business. We're just trying to create a solution.
So if that's something that you can benefit from, let us know.
So we just got that one going yesterday, and got some dealers already jumping in there. So so look forward to getting that going. And then a week from today, we're going to be announcing 2 White Hat Way dealers for 2023, and they'll be joining us as guests. So we're excited to have a chance to do that and showcase what they
have been
showcase publicly what they do every day.
Yeah. Absolutely. So. And one of them I know that a lot of you have seen before, but we'll leave with a little bit of suspense until you see the picture come out.
Tune in on Wednesday next week.
Anything else that we need to work to?
No, I think that's it for announcements. There's a lot of stuff around the corner, but I think for today our subject was around this blog post that I created, and it's a simple subject, but really, where this came about is we talked to a lot of folks, and you folks have been tuning in now. I think we're 80 plus episodes of White Hat Wednesday.
Something like that.
So we've been talking about White Hat Way on White Hat Wednesday for a while. Sometimes I think when I kind of hear it or try to imagine what it sounds like through, dealers' ears, I think, well, that's all great, but I don't really understand what it means to me. And so this blog post was really about, I was inspired, as I sometimes, get a little inspiration, and that turns into some writing. And so I wrote a little blog post about, imagine the day about what it's going to feel like to be in a room with other dealers who have also made the commitment that is White Hat Way, like making that decision to step into that. So again, that's what the blog post is. And Michelle's got a link there that she can share about where you can find that at the White Hat Way, blog page. But the premise is really simple. It's like, Michelle and I talk a lot about Cameron Herold, who wrote the book about vivid visioning. And we've been students of his teachings, and we talked to a lot of other people that are also, fans of Cameron Herold. And really what happens there is it's about taking your vision and making it as tangible as possible, making it in a way that people can understand kind of the mission, the vision, the concept, and what it's going to look like, feel like, sound like, all the stuff. And so that's what I tried to do in the blog post. So it's really just kind of fast forward and think about, for dealers, what's that community going to be like? What are the dealers in a given room, where we're there on some sort of white hat occasion or white hat event? What's that going to be like to have a number of dealers in the room who share that bond?
And the conversations that are happening around that, knowing that they're there for as that piece in common too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's really just kind of helping people think about what is that like. And so more recently, I've started to describe it like, everybody in the room will have taken the same step. Like at some point, there's some action that one takes to say, yes, I want to do my business in this way. And when we talk about this, we recognize that there are dealers out there doing this already. Mm-hmm. Like they operate their business in the way that we describe through White Hat Way. It's just that they don't currently have a community. They're not bound together. They're not bonded in the way that we know that White Hat Way will have a chance to bond people. And so this is really just about thinking about what it looks like then to be in that room. Like, what are some of the things that people would have in common?
Well, and one of the things I wanted to bring up though too is we have a pledge that every document that we sign has a pledge. It's it's not like a binding legal document, but it's a pledge for the principles of White Hat Way. And I'll go ahead and I'll add the White Hat pledge to the resources page on whitehatway.com so that you can go through and read. Actually, it's on the front page.
Yeah, it is on the front page.
Appendix W.
Right.
And so if you have an opportunity to get in there and read that, because that's what a white hat person, dealer, business person lives by.
Yeah, and I think when we think ahead to, I just have fun imagining the day that it's an event. It could be casual, it could be a formal event, but the idea is, imagine if you're a dealer and you can stand in a room amongst other dealers and know that you share these things in common. Like certainly you've made that pledge that she talks about, but what does that pledge look like? Like what would you then have? Yeah. Uh-huh. So, a lot of us can be in a room with other dealers and we can learn some things, but I want to just have dealers for a moment think about what it's going to feel like to be in a room where dealers all share this same bond because they have all made a similar commitment. And really that commitment for me is mostly about making a difference. Like it's about making a pledge to do the right thing. And, to do the best I can by my customers, make sure my customers are successful, make sure that my business is viewed as an asset to the community. So these are all things that, we talk about often with White Hat Way, but it's like I'm asking dealers today to think about what does that feel like to you? Like the feel part is important.
Yeah. Like, well, and part of being a White Hat Way dealer too is that you are actively reaching your customers and your community and all of that. And one of the things that I think would be really just a neat part of being in that room is like, what have you done?
Yeah.
What have you done? Sharing your successes, sharing the things that didn't work so well so that you might be able to either get some ideas about how to tweak it in the future, but being able to share those ideas with other dealers and just really create a atmosphere of like just lifting each other up and really helping each other to grow within White Hat Way.
Okay. And dealers have some of that now through more like straight line sort of subjects, right? Where they can get together and talk about business and talk shop. They have that now. What we're really saying is going to be different about a White Hat Way experience. If you're in a room where dealers who are in that room are part of a White Hat Way community, then what they additionally share about ideas is this bond that they have made a decision. And that's one of the key things for me is like, it's a simple thing. Like when I think about what White Hat Way looks like, it's certainly what it represents for us. It's like I made a decision to step forward and announce that, and in that way, when I say announce, is whatever way that announcement works for me. But it's in a way that my customers are going to see it, my team is going to see it. They're all going to know that I have stepped forward and made this pledge to be that asset to the community, to make a difference in the lives of my customers, to be able to be viewed in a way that, one of the things that occurs to me is like, I just love the notion that not only are we going to be respected by our team members and our, people in our community, but we're also going to have some self-respect. And a lot of dealers have that. It's just that they don't have the means currently, or the identity,
it's kind of a brand.
It's a brand, and it's a story, and it's a commitment. Like it's all these things. So I think that's the piece that I'm saying. It's about making a decision, and then some dealers are already operating that way. They've made that decision a long time ago. It's just now they have the opportunity going forward to stand in a room with people who
they
also
know have that same.
They share that commitment, and so the blog post kind of goes into some bullet points of different things that folks in that room would have in common. Certainly, one of the things that Michelle and I look forward to doing with the work with White Hat Way is being able to start to prove the part that is, we know that dealers are going to be financially comfortable. That, you know, this whole notion, and we talk about just being good guys and good neighbors and all, you know, good guys and gals. It's like it's more than that. It's because of that we're able to enjoy more financial success. We're able to build a business that is going to be sustainable. Not only is it going to be healthy, it's positioned to be healthy for a very long time. So imagine now that you stand in a room with other dealers who have that in common. They've been very successful. They're able to enjoy, comfortable existence. They're able to share freely with their team and give back to their customers and their community. And so this is all part of what White Hat Way is. We just have to express it in a way that dealers can get it. They can start to better understand, you know, what is this White Hat Way thing that Jim and Michelle are always talking about? Like, what is it? What is it going to be? What is it? How's it going to matter to me as a dealer, you know, in Middleville, Indiana? It's like, this is what we think it is going to look like, right?
Absolutely. I love that he gets emotional about it, because it really is something that's very close to his heart and makes an awful lot of difference.
Yeah, it's definitely about one of the things we ask dealers to do in White Hat Way is get comfortable with the idea of running business decisions through your heart. Okay.
Absolutely.
So it's still a business matter, right? We still have to involve the heart or involve the head at some point. But by bringing the heart to those decisions, one, it lets us have great continuity, great consistency, because we're doing it from a place that is more central, it's more of a core decision. So it's like it's going to live with us for a long time. So now if I think about, if I'm a dealer and I'm operating my business from a place of heart, I genuinely care about my customers, my team, my community, and you are a dealer and you share the same thing, then it's like it allows us to help each other in new ways.
Absolutely does. Also consider, you know, we talked about it being something of a brand, that as dealers step into White Hat Way, that we're going to be betaing soon a marketing approach for communities that's White Hat Way specific. This is the brand, and that dealers that we have met or that we will meet that have those, that live those principles, or that will really subscribe to what it is that White Hat Way is about, will be able to carry that brand, that logo, in their communities. And so it's, you know, it gives you also the ability to reach your customers in a way that they know that this is the type of business that we're stepping into.
Yeah, so I think that's all part of what, you know, the branding piece we think is significant, because what it allows us to do is, you know, if you're among those dealers that we're talking about that have made that commitment and we're out there trying to live it, I think it's natural that dealers don't always have the background that helps them know how to go forward and tell that story, especially in a way that's genuine, right? Because it's hard for us to talk about ourselves without sounding like we're boasting about ourselves. And so, you know, when you can take forward a brand, or I call it trust forward branding, like it's about going forward and having a brand that can go out in front of the dealer and say, this is what trust looks like. This is what it looks like to be a White Hat Way dealer. And oh, by the way, the White Hat dealer in your area is Joe Smith or whatever. So it's like, that's what branding can look like for White Hat Way. And so we're very excited to have a chance to do that. And I think when people start to understand what it is that we expect to be able to do with White Hat Way and what we are doing already with that, is like, that's part of why you see us, you know, come every Wednesday and talk about the thing, is because it's important, and it has a chance to be a benefit, not just to the dealers, but also to the consumers that they serve and to the vendors who serve the dealers. Because when the vendors are dealing with a dealer that they know has made that commitment and they know is operating from a place of integrity and striving. And
that means something.
And it doesn't mean it doesn't mean the dealer will be perfect in everything that they do. One of the things we talk about in the blog post is this idea about being, dealers in that room don't have any reason to fear an audit from a regulator, for example. They don't have that fear because they know that their pattern, their practices throughout their organization are meant to serve the customer well and to make sure the customer has a good experience. So while they can make a mistake, if a regulator came in, it would look exactly like that. It will look like a mistake,
instead of like a pattern.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so that's part of what, we're not attorneys and we're not suggesting that you don't still need to cross your T's. We're simply saying that when a dealer has operated that way, you got a bunch of connection problems, it looked like. So some of our channels may not be hearing us this morning, but it's all good. I think it may be just an internet problem, but anyway, just that's kind of what I wanted to have a chance to share. And I think folks can find their way to the blog page, on the website and see that. So Charlotte, North Carolina. I talked to a dealer in South Texas that was shivering in the 20s this morning. I mean, deep South Texas, so it's pretty uncommon for them to get that cold. But it was. It's part of what happens with White Hat Way. And so I think for today, that's the thing. I would just urge people to find their time to read that and ask themselves and start to visualize, what that looks like when you think, what drives us to keep doing this and keep showing up and talking about the thing. And it's like, you're just going to find it's a deep commitment. It's a heart matter. It's something that we know dealers are out there doing it. We just are trying to give an identity to it and to bring dealers together who can, as you said, learn from one another in white hat elements of their business, right? And so that's part of what we look forward to doing. And so it's why we say it's the head is the straight line piece of the business. The heart is kind of the squiggly lines piece of, how do we build this business in a way that customers have a good experience, our team has a good experience, and we're able to be, very successful and position ourselves to be in business for a long time.
And the straight lines, that's something that there's a lot of really good information. There's a lot of great teachers and all of that, but that having that foundation, and then when you layer this on and have it have the same type of importance, that imagine what strength that shows in the community. Imagine what strength that shows with our customers. So good morning to sunny St. George.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Probably our friend Adrian Bueno. Buenos dias, senor. So glad to have y'all here, and look forward to having you join us next Wednesday when we announce 2 dealers from different parts of the country who we've tapped as White Hat dealers for 2023, and look forward to presenting them in a public way. So so excited for that. But we should wrap up.
All right. So enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. Again, if the V8, if you're one of the new dealers and didn't think that would be something that you could do before, we are creating. We're going to start with one group and just see where that goes.
I'm calling it the newbie group. Don't take offense. If you're a newbie and you're new to this,
so it's like under 50 contracts.
Under 50 contracts. You're pretty new to the business. So if you'd like to get in the group, reach out.
So let us know if we can help with that. And I think that we're good to go.
In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll look for you back here on Friday when we do a wrap up from Ohio.
All right. And we're not going to have music at the very end, except for the TV stinger, because we don't have our board with us. So we're just going to go with it. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining.